But the reality of it is this. The reality of it is this. Most people that you meet have come from very bad backgrounds. They have already lit up plenty of Christmas trees in their past life, okay? And they're at the point where they are woefully insufficient. They're woefully insufficient because a lot of those people have damage in their subconsciousness and their synapses. They have their ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends in the back of their mind. They're still hurting from unhealed wounds from their past life. They're still hurting from scars that they didn't take the time to delve into and to do surgery on. Okay, they didn't patch up their anger towards someone. They didn't forgive their past people for what they've done. They still hold on to unnecessary grudges. They still hold on to their sorrows. They still hold on to people who have passed away, and they hold it so dear and so close where it damages their relationship. It damages their relationship because the unity, when they bond with that other person, it's going to attack the central soul. What I mean is it's going to be a button to your core, to your inner you. So therefore, you don't really know that person and you don't really enter into their core self, okay, until you are really intimate with that person. But if you wait until after marriage to get into their inner soul or the core of that person, by then it's too late. By then you have put yourself into the pit of hell and you can't get out of it. Okay, that's why I recommend, and it will be better, and I practice it myself should the time arise. Okay, that it will be better to sit down and evaluate this person because I want to know what I'm getting into if I want this thing to be long term. It is only common intelligence to do such a thing. Okay, and you got to be safe when you do so, and you got to know yourself. But however, just as what a person said, and it makes sense. Listen, it's like this. You have to be at your best self before you engage in any of those types of relationship. You got to be the best you first. You got to heal yourself first. You have to control yourself first. You got to know who you are first. You have to liberate your soul and your spirit first before encountering such relationships or the strategy that I have just explained to you. Because again, oftentimes people do not do that. They do not teach themselves. They don't help themselves. They are a wounded individual and they want their companion to heal their wounds. They get into relationships because they want that second person they want that person to come along and be the hero, to be the savior, to be their Christ on two legs. Okay. They want somebody to make them happy. Okay. They want somebody to fulfill them because they never fulfilled themselves. You got to fulfill yourself first, find out who you are and heal your scars first. Be the best that you can be. Then you can combine yourself with somebody else's life, or you'll be able to peer bond with them and understand them. So therefore you won't lose control should you decide to donkey dunk before marriage, because you know what you're getting yourself into before you get into it. All right. So this also leads me to the third conversation here. Time heals all wounds. A gentleman asked me that. It was a very good question because he was dealing with a relationship with a girl who was dealing with family problems, and she brings it up every now and then. Sometimes it comes up while they're eating dinner. Okay, she hates some of her family members, and sometimes it ends up in tears. All right, men, what you're going to have to understand, and people abroad, listen carefully. That's not true. And the reason why I say this is because, again, I'm not a counselor, but I counsel people, okay, in my own way, in my own form. All right. And while I am sitting there talking to them, it doesn't matter what I say. Okay, I end up finding myself needing to refer them to an actual counselor who has an office and okay, because they cannot be healed. Okay, these people, it's like this. A person is going to need to liberate themselves. They're going to have to find their own exit door over time. Yes, you can direct them to it, point your finger. You can say, hey, this is what it is. It's supposed to be this way. Be careful and, deal with it in this measure. All right, as you want to, and give them examples, and you can break it down to the algorithms and the mathematical equations as you want to. They still will not be healed because they want to hold on to the problem. And here we go. The reason is because some people use that negative energy from their past to be the person that they are. You got to understand this. They feed off of the negative event in their life or their past life. Okay. Because they use that as an excuse not to be at their best. They feed off of, yes, you can do that. Just like you can feed off of being positive or thinking about a positive event, you can feed off of a negative event that happened in your past for an excuse for the behavior that you are having in your current world. That's right. They feed off of it. When you are telling them, hey, don't do that, let it go, live your life, keep moving. You are alive. You're here today. The past is the past. The future is the future. You don't have a future if you're holding on to the past. You can say that all you want to. Rewind that if you didn't hear what I just said. Okay? You can do that all you want to. They're still going to want to hold on to the past. They're going to hold on to their past wounds. They're going to hold on to whatever hurt them. Okay? Because they are using that as an excuse, and they need that. They need that negativity to promote the attitude, the perception, and the energy that they are constantly dealing with. Okay? Because they're not willing to change. They don't want to change. They don't want to feel better. They don't want healing. All right? So time does not heal all wounds as they say it does. It is supposed to. But people aren't looking for healing. They're looking for constant struggle. They're looking for someone to understand their pain when their pain needs to be wiped away. Okay, it doesn't make sense to sit at the doctor's gurney and you're laying there and you tell the doctor, my arm hurts. And the doctor's like, okay, here's a syringe. Let me give you something to heal the pain. You're like, no, doctor, my arm hurts. Do you understand that my arm hurts? The doctor says, yes, I understand that your arm hurts. I'm trying to give you something for your arm. Sit still and put the shut up so I can give you something for it. Oh, no, doctor, listen, I'm trying to tell you that my arm hurts. The doctor's like, listen, either you let me do my job. No, as a matter of fact, do you want me to heal you? Do you want me to take the pain away? Well, I'm just trying to tell you my arm hurt. Apparently you wanted to, you just put the syringe down, but fine, deal with the pain. And I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to work on something else. Okay, you deal with that because apparently you want that. I've already told you that I understand your pain. I understand that we've been there before. People have dealt with the scars that you have dealt with. People have struggled just like you multiple times, and people are trying to unify themselves with you, neighbors, cousins, uncles, whatever else. Okay, they know what you've been through. It's time to get healed. And the only way to get healed is to let the wound heal itself. Okay, through time and doing better for yourself. Okay, because there's all kind of healing in your environment. There's all kind of ways to do better for yourself because what's done is done. When you're dealing with an incision or a scrape, you hurt your knee, you hit your head on the wall, you cut your finger, anything of that nature. When it comes to when you want to bring that metaphysically to your soul or your spirit, or somebody hurt you emotionally or broke your heart. Okay, same thing. Sometimes you got to say, okay, well, it happens. Let me let it heal on its own. What's done is done. Okay, turn it around to slap the person, get revenge, or to break the table because you hit your toe on it. Now you want to break the table and burn it and throw it outside and curse at it at the same time. It's not going to make the pain go away, nor is it going to heal the scar. The scar is still going to be there. You're still hurting. Oh, I feel better because I got revenge. No, you don't. You made it worse because you got revenge because you didn't let go. When you don't let go, whatever hurt you won. It won already. It's victorious. Or whoever hurt you, they won. They're victorious regardless because you didn't let go. When you let go and you move on, the healing is done. It's done. But you know what? Again, here we go. Being in that position, I have watched, saw, and been completely disappointed. And that's why I'm able to bring it to you on too many occasions, because it's not like it used to be. It's not the old days, because we are still sucking on the indoctrination programs. You still have misinformation. And you got all type of false sense of what love and compassion is. So people are utterly confused today, and they don't want healing. They like their sickness. Okay, there's people walking around like zombies, and they enjoy it. Okay, so therefore, when you say move on, live your life, be better, to them it's like, oh, I can't do that. It's too hard. That's a disease. It's impossible. Nonsense. No, it's not impossible. It's because they don't want to. They love their sickness and they want to live in it, because the sickness is what helps them to be who they are. Okay? Just like a zombie. A zombie is who they are because they are a zombie. because they're no longer alive. They are the sickness itself. In order to heal that and get rid of it, of course, it's the bad ending, okay? Or be reborn again. So when you think about that, men, you get with women who has been wounded and hurt, okay, and she's constantly bringing it up every time you give her a glass of wine or something of that nature. That's what you're going to have to deal with probably for the rest of your life. If you can't deal with it for the rest of your life, you need to understand that it's not you that need to heal her. She needs to heal herself by letting go and living. By saying what's done is done. I'm a new woman now. I am not going to worry about it. I'm going to brush my shoulders off and brush my knees. I'm going to keep it moving. There's not too many mature people or grown women like that anymore. Okay, it's far and few in between. They're there. Okay, but most times they're coming to you with a full bag of stuff that you didn't give to her, but was given to her from her past life. So should you decide to accept it and say, time heals all wounds, so I'll give her 9 years. I'll give her 5 years of my life. I'm going to give her the best 2 years of my life, even though I'm trying to succeed in my career and life. And you're ruined because that baggage, okay, becomes dead weight. Because she will not change unless she wants to change through her own perception and reality. That this is the future, this is the now, the past is not here. It's no longer here, and when it will not be here. I had a question from several retired men. And they had a unique question that I'm going to answer. And they asked me this on a general basis. They said, well, because I'm retired, I feel like I want to get back to work again. Normally, I'm just so used to moving around. I'm so used to getting my hands on something and working hard like I did in my career. So I feel like now that I'm at home and I'm just dwindling around the house, I got to find something to do. And it was like, okay, Morpheus, what do you think will be good, since you're an entrepreneur, what would be good to get into, keep myself busy and occupy my time, because I've been working my whole life. All right. Some of you may not like what I am going to say. As you know, I am Morpheus. That's all I have to say. When I say that, okay, you need to be ducking your head, because there's going to be something that's going to fly past, or you're going to catch it. But it's going to be enough to where you should be looking up, because it's coming at you fast. All right. You should already know by listening to my audio that you are not coming to a regular, normal person. I'm not normal. I'm going to tell you something different. All right. I pride myself on being different. And some of you may call me crazy. I pride myself on it. If you don't like it, there are other channels that you can listen to for common rabble, for the usual conundrum. I am not that. I aim at the grid and the brick wall to break it down, with or without you. Now, funny thing is, most of their excuses, before I even begin to give them my red pill spiel, they will say in return for their excuse, they immediately say, well, I've lived my life already. I've did a whole lot of things. I've been around the world, son, and I've been with the best women, and God, I spent all my time, I've been, I've had the beach houses and, the wooden cabins, man. I've been on the cruises, man. I've been all over the place, man. So I'm just, man, it's just like, I'm just, it's not like I'm missing out on anything, at home. I don't have to catch up on nothing, I just, maybe I need to get back to work. I love to just work. This is what I do. Right? Morpheus have told you so many times that when you give all your time, your energy away to the world, to your corporations, to your jobs, when you go home, you are useless to yourself. I told you this will happen, and it happens on a constant basis. Okay. I am not going to be your mental therapist or your man draws and breeches. Okay, for you to cry to when you get to the point where you are twirling your thumbs when you're sitting at home. You are supposed to be a man. And not only a man, but a man with the ability to build your own infrastructure. There's always something to do outside of being somebody's pawn or slave. All right. When you are so used to, I just got to work, man. That's just what I do, man. I'm used to working 11 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's all I do, man. 365. I can't sit down. You go home, you get up, you got to walk around the house and let me figure out something to do. This is a two-sided dime. For one, I know that a lot of you got a woman at home that you just don't want to be around. Okay. You can't get over that fact. The fact is, you don't want to be at home because she's there. She owns the home. She's running your kingdom, and you just want to get out of the house. You need an excuse to leave her. You need an excuse to say, honey, I'm getting ready to go to work. It's 9 o'clock. So that's one thing. And you're retired now. Well, I need to, maybe I need to work for the church. Maybe I'll maintenance the church. Maybe they need me to go cut the grass, so I'm gonna cut the grass. The pastor called me up and, they're getting ready to move some pews around and, they put a billboard up and, I need to help them set up some chairs because they have like a, ceremony this weekend. Okay, honey, I'm getting ready to go and do that because you just don't want to be there with her. Get over the facts. You've been married for too long. Okay, now this cute girl that you used to meet a long time ago because y'all let the well run dry, because you didn't leave your iron in the fire, and because you've been doing that for such a long time, because, again, humans are a species of habit. Humans are a species of habit. You don't know anything else, nor can you see outside of your matrix and grid. So you've lived in such a controlled, simpleton type lifestyle where all you're doing is finding outlets because you're used to doing it. So, of course, somebody say, well, I got some grad, man, I need some help over here on the other side of town. We're doing like a church meeting, and in church meeting, we're going to, be building this and doing it. Okay, I'll do that. I'll be the first one in line, and leave the wife at home. So you can tell her, so she can give you allowance to leave the house. Mommy, I'm getting ready to leave. Is it okay? I'm going to school now. So that's one half. That other half is you didn't leave anything for yourself like I told you to. I told you every day of your life, you need to cut a piece of the time for yourself. You need to cut the pizza and leave a slice for yourself. You need to build you. You need to keep a unit in this world for yourself. You need to carve a piece of the world and make it yours for all eternity. Anytime that you get, every moment that you get, you hammer and you hammer and you hammer. Every day of your life, you focus on that point because it's all about you. Every chance you get, you give something back to yourself. Where when you are not working for somebody, you're not bending your back over, you're not cutting nobody's grass, you're not helping anybody work on a car. Okay, you're not trying to help somebody with their groceries and all the things that you do on a normal basis. Okay, you need to be going back home to your workshop and work on a goal. Work on something that's all about you and be there. Look at the time that you have off of work as an opportunity to concentrate on you. But because you spend such a long time, 50, 60 something years on being this puppet of your state or whatever that you did in a lifetime, okay, now you don't have nothing for yourself. Now you're walking around in circles like a penguin, okay, and forgot about that you was a lion once upon a time, where you should have been building your kingdom. You should have been doing something for yourself. Have a hobby or something like our classic car that you work on 24 hours, 7 days a week, or build a home or something for your grandkids or your kids, or create a farm, or have been working on a farm while you was working and building the infrastructure, paperwork, and things that need to be done for your children and grandchildren so you can pass on your legacy or others who appreciate your hard work. But no, now that you ain't got nothing else better to do, you didn't leave anything for yourself. All you have done was allowed yourself to be a programmed automaton where all you expect for people to do is to wind you up and keep you moving. But you never wind yourself up for yourself because you did not give yourself the opportunity to do so. So now you're suffering for it. When you are retired, that would be the best time for you to give your best efforts unto the world and into the youth. Whereas you are providing a different avenue and prospects for other people that are around you. That's the best time to make an effect in your world. That's the best time to be a good teacher and a good provider of knowledge because you have experience. That is the best time for you to have the influence of your experience, prepped and prepared to install some wisdom, some knowledge, and some sense of guidance into the youth that's around you, because now you're not working for anybody. Now you got the time to do something with the ability that you have. Not talking about I need to find something to do. That's a shame. And going on back that, check this out. We are so debated and retarded, we're so behind on the bus, where you realize that the youth and young people are the ones who are trying to guide the nation now, that some of the grandparents and some of the older elders supposed to be the smart ones, but they're the ones jumping off the boat first. And all you got is these young people that have to guide themselves, because nobody wants to step up and be a good example. Nobody wants to step up and teach properly. No one wants to step up and teach the values that America or the nations used to have in the westernized civilization. No one wants to do what needs to be done. There are several people. I'm not saying it's not being done. I'm saying it's not enough, because just about everywhere you go, there's the youth that are having to lead themselves. It's the youth, the younger generation that is becoming more not responsible, but needing to be responsible and to make the new jargon, come up with new things, come up with new ideas. Come up with different slang, come up with different creations and products and things of that nature. It's not the older generation, because we have lost. Now, I'm not old like you are, but I'm saying the ones that I'm talking about, you, my caller. Okay, talking about you ain't got nothing else better to do. Because unfortunately, we did not just harbor the values that we should have in the past, and the quality that America used to be, enough to where we was on top of the game, on top of our game, to teach and to provide a guiding light. Instead, because we want to go along to get along, because we is afraid of programs, laws, and rules, and because we let our children have free range in our house, because we thought that was a great idea to do, to let them be the ones to run your household and home while you're not there. And now they transform to be the mom and dad. Now you're the child, a 60-something-year-old child. And now the child themselves is now the adult. How twisted is that when you have more experience than them? You've been on planet Earth way longer than them, but yet they act like they know more than you, and you do nothing to correct it. It's amazing how the cart is before the horse, and we talk about, whoa, what's going on with the world in America? And, America is destroying stuff, and I don't understand about the values, and we don't do what we used to do when times have changed. That's because you let it. That's because you let it happen. Instead of spoiling the rod and saving the child, you decided to get on your knees and do nothing. On a large scale. I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the majority of it. So therefore, the child becomes the leader, you become the follower. And now you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life where useless. When that is a perfect opportunity to say, okay, let me stand up and teach, preach, talk, guide, provide the sensible knowledge, wisdom, and experience. And let's create systems and programs that's going to change this nation around with my experience. So don't you ever call up Morpheus trying to ask me about what you should do with yourself. Don't you ask me I'm retired, Morpheus. I don't know what, don't you do it. Don't do it, because I'm going to tell you what you can do. All right. Because that's your first failure right there. Calling me up saying, I just want to get back to work. I'm just so used to working, man. What do you suggest for me to get into? Because you know who I'm listening to. Immediately, I know that you are just so used to working for somebody else. You just jumped off of the cotton field. You want to go right back to it because that's all you know. And that's what have destroyed the nation to begin with, when you got all the power in your hands to be an elder, a guide and light, and to provide something for those who are going to come after you. Simple as that. It should be to the point where when you get an opportunity, you can change the world in an hour because you have prepared yourself for that, because you've been waiting for that time. You've been giving yourself those hours, those minutes, those weeks, those days. Even better for those who are working 3 days a week, okay, and got the rest of the week to themselves. 4 days. 4 days. With the 4 days that you have, instead of sitting back and watch, I'm going to watch Netflix. Yeah, let's go shopping. Yeah, bingo night. Oh, this is what we do. We're going to go to church Sunday night, and, we're going to go home with, grandpa's tired. We're going to go home. That's what we do. And sit down and nothing. Okay, but yeah, you got all the power and knowledge in the world to create something for the next generation. That should be able to change the tide around overnight while you're working at the same time. I'm going to destroy you in T-minus 2 minutes. Tops. There was a man who came to me and began with the same argument and explanation that the world is or you could say America isn't on the right track, and began to talk about all the events that have been going on in the past few months, okay, or past few years. And this is an elder guy, and he said, the reason why is because the younger generation do not respect us elders. They are supposed to respect us elders and give us honor. And they're supposed to put us on a pedestal and say, you know what, this person came before me, so I'm going to respect them. Right? And I looked him in his face, and I stood still, and I put my hands in front and held my hands together. And I didn't move, like my soldier stance with my legs spread wide. I said, why? Very straightforward. Why? Well, because I'm the elder and I came before them and I'm older than them. I said, wait. I said, what did you do to deserve respect? Simple as that. There's no argument. Just answer the question. Well, it's just a crazy world. This youth, man, they just raised up wrong by, bad parents. And, people ain't thinking constantly. I said, listen, I didn't ask you that. You're giving me an explanation. Answer the question. I said, what did you do to deserve respect besides being an older person? Couldn't answer that question. Couldn't answer it. Yeah, there's many of you who can. And let's get on to something else. Next trigger. Pop, pop. You got the church talking about, well, you got church elders. You got church ones who's in the church and they've been praying night and day on their knees while you was a youth, while you was going to college, while you was studying. They will swear up and down. Mama's always in there praying, always in there praying. She prayed her entire life for you. The pastor would tell you that. The older generation would tell you that. Those who are also stuck on tradition and the practical programmer will say that. Okay. All the while, the fruits of the labor is what matters. It is not about what you say. It's about what you do that matters. It's not that you are an elder person. As some of you may think, oh man, Morpheus is really being disrespectful. Listen to what I'm saying. Here we go. Respect is earned. It's not given. You don't ask for respect. It's something that is given to you because you earn respect by the way you carry yourself, by what you do with yourself and others, and by the authority and power that you are using properly to respect others. For example, here we go. For you who are turned upside down or disturbed as to what I say, I already warned you as it is. You didn't take my warning. This is what I do. Here it is. Let me give you two scenarios. There was a father. And, of course, I was helping his family. Actually, I was trying to train his children in martial arts. and a little physical training. And been speaking with them for quite some time. And got the backstory on this gentleman. He used to fight in the war. He was a soldier once upon a time. He was, they showed me pictures of their dad, had muscles. He was an icon, something to look up to. He was something to respect at that time and to fear, a good fear. It was such a unique thing. And he didn't take no stuff. He held down the house. He was the alpha in the house. He was red pill in the house, just about. You can't be red pill and be married, but during that time, he had his own place in the home where he would walk around the house. There was something that identified him. Whatever he said would go. So I began to follow the pattern and the breadcrumbs and to look at the man that he was currently when I seen him. He was not that same man. Didn't have those muscles. He was very passive. Once upon a time, he didn't go to church. He wasn't religious like that. He's the type of guy who would stand outside the garage, smoke a cigarette, and probably take a swig of a whiskey and hide it behind something and go in the house, and that was it. He was a strong dude. And he was a man. But the one that I saw currently, he was soft. He didn't have anything in the house to identify him. He only had one spot in the room that identified himself. A couple of trophies, a couple of things. That was it. And for some of you say, well, that's typical. No, it's not typical. It's not. Because the woman had the reign of the house. Everything was in her name. It looked about her. She had the best of cars. He had the worst of cars. And he will be the one buying the new cars, and he'll work himself to the bone. He will work himself to exhaustion while she's at home eating fresh steak and clean eggs 24 hours, 7 days a week. To the point where he was scraggly and wore out and tired, but yet she was there just chipping on her nails. Or you could say sucking on them. Right? Red pill came one day where the daughter came home. Visited them. I said, hello, how you doing? One of the older daughters. And she utterly disrespected him, not just in front of me, being the stranger and outsider, but in front of mother, who was only a few feet away. She was in the kitchen. Dad was standing there. Younger brother was sitting there on the couch, just playing in his phone. And it wasn't a, how you doing, daddy? Or, hey, dad, what are you doing today? Respect, respect, respect. It was atrocious. It was more like, how you doing? I can't say it on YouTube. I can't say it. Okay, it wasn't good. She was degrading him. Where you been at? I was waiting for you to call. What are you thinking? Like, dang, why you gotta be so lazy? Why you gotta be so lazy? Why are you doing like that, Dad? You need to be calling. You need to do this. You need to do that. I told you, do. Going on and on and on and on. Like she was the wife. I didn't even know that was the daughter. You would have swore that was the wife, but just, of course, way younger. Because he had no man card, no alpha card. There was nothing of him. And everything that she said, it was in him. And his response was, yeah, okay. All right. I'll do it. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. I thought she was talking about somebody did something to her, but she was actually talking straight to him and degrading him. I did my evaluation a week later. I had to talk to her when she showed up. I didn't want to get in the way because I'm the stranger here. And I know getting into fire, I don't get myself in trouble. If it's going to be hot, I'm just going to walk away. Okay, I don't get into anybody's business unless they need me as a, helper, friend, whatever. Okay. But I asked the question, I said, what happened? Remember that day where you came home and you talked, what was going on? Because, I'm not used to seeing a daughter, talk to their dad like that. I mean, that's your dad. What's going to, she began to explain to me how much of as in your expression, a punk he was. Weeks off, he don't do nothing. She talked about how he was soppy, weak, moist, and just the list went on. Okay, she had no respect for him. She had no love, no respect at all. If she needed something, no matter what type of situation it was, not that he was there, he would provide any way, even if they were wrong, and did not chastise or straighten up the situation. There was no wisdom to be given. It was all, okay, yes, ma'am, I'll do it, from him. So because of that, you men who are listening now, know this for yourself. As a red pill man, you know that women will not respect you when you as soft as a moist angel cake. All right. Eventually, she will step on you, throw you in trash, and walk away. And that's what was happening to this man. He didn't deserve respect. He didn't earn it. He allowed himself to be debased in the worst ways. One thing by his marriage, another thing by his wife taking over his manhood in his life, and another thing altogether when your daughter and your children are degrading you as well, and you are supposed to be the elder, you're supposed to be the leader, you're supposed to be the guiding light, you're supposed to be the one to take your family to the next level. I couldn't listen. I couldn't respect him myself. I couldn't respect. There was no respect. I lost all interest. And I cut him off as a client immediately because I couldn't watch it. It was not going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. I couldn't without saying something myself. As Morpheus, I don't lie to you to the point where if I need to say something, I'm going to say it. If I can't say it, I'm going to walk away because I know I'm going to say something that's going to put somebody, it's going to make a pancake out of you. So I'm going to shut my mouth. Okay. And it flabbergasted me because these are the same people who will go to church, because he was, and say, I am an elder, and you call an elder in a church. You're this grown dude who is twice our age, right? And been on earth way before anybody else, who have more knowledge, experience. He was in the military. This tough dude. I'm thinking, what happened to you? What did you smoke, man? Like, what did you get a hold to? What did you get a hold to? My American people, Neil, what do you think it was? He didn't stay on his square. He allowed himself to be encroached. He allowed his manhood to be gone. First of all, he got married. Second of all, he didn't stay on his grind. Third of all, he didn't lead. He was being led. He was being led by the lapels. So therefore, that will destroy, because it's happening a lot of times. It's happening around your country where a lot of you don't even know it, because outside of the home, yeah, they pretend like they tough, stand outside smoking cigarette. Yeah, I got it. When he goes home, his wife is stepping on his back and eating a plate off of it as well. And then you're saying, well, why is the nation not moving forward? And then they're the first one talking about, you need to respect your elders. Why? For what? You did what for me? What'd you do? What you change? Who are you teaching right now? Who are you providing information to right now when you get tired and retired because you're useless to yourself? Now you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Now, again, I must say, if you are sensitive and you're not understanding what I'm saying and you think I'm talking down at you and I don't respect my elders, you are silly. You're silly because you're not listening to what I just said in the beginning of this audio. I said respect is earned. If you are operational and you doing what needs to be done, then apparently I'm not talking about you. Apparently this isn't your problem like it is when this example I just gave you. There are plenty of elders. There are plenty of people who are changing the world. There are plenty of people who, when they are tired, that's awesome for them because now they got plenty of time to concentrate on their projects in their life. Okay, if you are not that person, it will be best to listen to those who are not you, that where you can understand that there are masses of them around your country, your neighborhood, and your state, okay, who is exactly what I just described. Okay, and you wonder why the youth is out of control. You wonder why the elders get no respect. You wonder why some of the younger generation just don't want to hear, because it's been too many of them in the masses, okay, who are instead of being the leaders. So therefore, if you don't respect yourself, there's no need for anybody else to respect you. Don't expect for somebody else to respect you, and you don't respect yourself by giving yourself time, giving yourself quality, giving yourself space, honoring yourself, honoring your own hobbies, honoring your own world, and coming here to the world and trying to figure out something that you can own, that is specifically identified and uniquely only made for you. When you allow that to be pilfered because you want to walk around like a pack mule, okay, that's nobody else's fault but you. So you don't deserve respect because you did nothing to earn it by the youth, by other people, or by yourself. Now, I got another audio coming. Of course, this is part 2 of Men Questions. I didn't know it was going to be so big. So this might be another unique series. I got audio number 3 coming to answer questions. That's going to be a plethora of red pill and dropping dimes to make you people stronger. This is Leon C. Of course, you know it's me, aka Morpheus. And it's coming at you right after this. So like this, share it, and subscribe it, and support, because I'm going to keep on empowering you. The more you empower me.